Hi, this is Ronnie, and welcome to the International Scrapbook Day. This is a hop for the Scrappy Challenges on Facebook, and we're all supposed to do something nostalgic. Now, that was hard for me to decide what to do because I'm a scrapbooker. I mean, everything's nostalgic. There was like so many to choose from, but this week, well, the last few weeks, I found out this girl in my office at work grew up in the same little, I guess you call it subdivision outside of Chicago, that I did, and we were reminiscing about stuff, and we reminisced about this McDonald's, and she remembered something that I didn't, that it was, you walked up to the windows. You can see the windows in here, that it wasn't a walk-in. But we never got to go in anywhere, really, any place when I was a kid anyhow. We'd sit there in the car and wait. So she remembered that because they couldn't go in. I've talked about several times over the years, and reminiscing about how my dad only got paid every 2 weeks. He worked nights. My mom did not drive. So we hardly ever went anywhere. And if we did, it was generally like for the Sunday afternoon drive. Yeah, we had Sunday afternoon drives back then. And this was, when I first started going here, it would be like 1959. And so I Googled McDonald's in that town. And the first pictures I looked at, I thought, man, they don't even look like that one. Because I did remember this fence, and how we'd pull in, park there, and I'd be sitting there in the car looking out the window at the fence. So yeah, and also it says here, now it says we have sold over 1 million hamburgers. Yeah, I just thought that was awesome when I learned to read, that they'd sold over 1 million hamburgers. Just think how many they probably sold by now. Yeah, long time ago. So yeah, this is what I chose to scrapbook and my memories of it. And I picked Oh Darling, and I just have the 6x6 paper. I got this like off Peachy Cheap, and so it was like different things with it. And it's just odds and ends left. I picked these also to go with it. I might get something else out, but these came with it. And then all of this. And I also got out some Tim Holtz ribbon film ideology. But yeah, this was just scrapbook. And I picked a yellow piece of paper. Because there is some yellows in here. I'm not sure how much yellow I will use. But instead of having a white background, I thought I'd use cardstock that was colored. Anyway, I will put it on fast forward. So don't you all just love National Scrapbooking Day? I mean, International Scrapbooking Day? Yeah, there are so many videos out there today. Oh, you see me trying to take that sticky foam tape off the back there. It was on there from a previous layout I guess I tried to work on. Since I haven't used this collection in a couple of years, it's been a while. Anyway, I tried to take it off and couldn't, because I thought I'd put my journaling behind it by having the frame popped up with the picture, and that didn't work out. So my journaling is going to be to the side in the front instead of hidden in the back. And I decided to go ahead and use the film on this. I liked it. It had like little rosy spots on it and made it the newly printed picture more vintage. Because, yeah, it was a very long time ago when I went to that McDonald's. And I was so glad to find this picture. And no, it's the same McDonald's. It's exactly how I remember it. And it's been a very long time since I went there. And that little card there with the girl, I wanted to use it because back then the school dress code was, girls had to wear dresses. In the winter when it snowed, we could wear pants under our dresses, but we had to take them off when we got to school. And of course they were still wet, cold, and clammy when we went to put them on when we got out of school to go home. But that's how we had to do it. And I wanted to use a doily because these are my memories, and I wanted to make it pretty girly. And there I was trying to find, I seen that polka dot, and remember I seen a ombre polka dot in here, so I wanted to use it in my layout. Since this is only 6x6, I wanted to make it go farther. So I'm looking at this and trying to decide how I want to do it, and I went from light to dark and cut it in half and put it behind a picture, and made it look like it was bigger than a 6x6. Maybe I made it look like a 6x8, you think? That's a little vellum, but I can't talk, vellum bow, and I thought about using it, but then I thought that's vellum on vellum, and I changed my mind. It's also tore a little bit, and I couldn't think of nothing to put over the tore spot, which I could have, put something there and it wouldn't have been noticeable at all, but I couldn't think of anything to put there. And I had a little trouble lining this up, so I cut part of it out since it took me a little while. I didn't have my T square ruler up there straight to start with, is what the problem was. And all this papers in this collection, it's been a few years since it came out, are more vintage looking, and that one paper down there has tape on it, and the tape looks like it's yellowed and turned colors, and so I'm going to end up working off of that a little bit. And I was putting those on there, and I wanted them to stand out a little bit, so I'm going to, I don't know if I've done it yet or not because I was busy talking and wasn't paying attention. Put some tape behind the tag so that it can stand up at the top a little bit. And I probably should have put my twine on there before I did all that because it made it a little bit harder. And there I'm trying to decide which way I want it to go, that little vellum one. And see that gap between it and the piece of paper I'm going to do the journaling on? That kind of bugged me, and I thought about putting a banner across there and a few other things. But nothing was, and I even looked in there for something, but nothing was working, so I'm going to end up moving it a little bit, moving the card itself down so that the frame will be able to go down a little bit. And here I'm trying to decide which one there. That yellow is just way too bright to go there. And I know it came with the collection, but it just seemed kind of bright with everything else looking more faded. And see there, I move it down a little bit, and then everything overlaps. And I don't have no gap there to bug me. And the chipboard there, I wanted that straight, even though I have everything else at an angle. It's going to be a subtitle, and it says childhood, and it was on that one sticker sheet. I can't remember what that sticker sheet is. October Afternoon, I think. And I wanted it straight, and then it's going to be childhood memory. I wanted that part straight, but I wanted the other parts at angles. And I used the vellum, and when I put MEM, the second M, kind of faded in there, and then I thought, well, you can still tell what it is in the layout, even though that one letter looked a little faded because of the part of the G in the background being right there under it. And there I'm adding some washi tape. I'd use that piece to hold my T square ruler straight, and I thought, well, why throw it away? I can use it on here, put a little bit of yellow in my layout. And this is a little clip, and it's plastic. And I wanted something in the background, so I used one of the scrap pieces of paper and cut around it and then glued it on. And I used an adhesive runner to glue it on because I was afraid if I used a liquid glue it wouldn't work very well. But of course I had lots of glue on there then. And if I'd had a dot runner, which I'm out of, it wouldn't have been quite so bad. It was just stuck where it's supposed to stick, but that one didn't. So I cut part of that out so you wouldn't have to watch me mess with that and try to get it off and leave enough on there to have my piece of cardstock stick. And here I'm trying to decide which colors to use. And I kept pulling out colors and thinking, no, they won't work. No, they won't work. And then I'd pull almost the same color out and it still wouldn't work. And so I wanted my title to be Sunday Drive. And because, yeah, we did take a drive on Sunday afternoons every now and then. I mean, not every Sunday or anything, but, well, like I said, my dad only got paid every 2 weeks. Mom didn't work. So we didn't have money to do a whole lot of things. And it was nice when we did because we knew we'd either get a stop at Dairy Queen, which I do want to make a layout about. My mom hardly has any pictures of us when we were kids. We had school pictures. She bought them. She made sure she bought those, but somebody stole her camera and several rolls of film and pictures one time when she was on vacation. Well, they stole her purse. And she just never got another camera and didn't take no pictures. So basically the pictures we got as kids, somebody else took them and gave her copies. And I really miss that, especially since I'm a scrapbooker. And there's the twine, and it is a pink twine. And I end up putting some down on the bottom cluster later after I get done with my voiceover and I go back to take the pictures so I can put them on at the end. And I thought, it just needs a little something more. But I was already, well, not the voiceover. I was done with the editing and was getting ready to do the voiceover. But, yeah, I was looking at it and thinking it needed a little something more. And I did my journaling off screen. And I also added some Nouveau Crystal dandelion yellow drops on here too. And that's the only two things I added when I went back. But I did take pictures of them, so there are on the pictures with the journaling. And the journaling is basically what I already said, only a shorter version of it because I didn't have enough room to put all the stuff I said. That one piece of vellum says delightful because it was delightful when we went. You know, we really looked forward to it. And here I'm picking out one of those cups. And it looks a little modern with everything else, but, you know, I really thought the cups were pretty back then. A lot fancier than the plastic cups I had at home. And so, yeah, they were pretty. And this says, love this place. It said, love you. And I would have loved to have loved, L-O-V-E-D. So it'd be loved this place. But it's not. And I know I could have spelled it out with letters, but I didn't. I really had a hard time with that exclamation point. That little teeny tiny dot. Oh, and if y'all noticed on my right hand, on my finger, an O, because you'll probably be able to see this bigger than me. Yeah, when I was making the title, the O ended up on my finger and I couldn't find it, so I gave up and got another one. And I didn't find it till I got done with the layout. And I was coming back in the other room and there I seen it on my finger. But yeah, it's on my finger, the whole layout, and I don't even notice it. But I want to wish you all a happy, fun-filled, scrappy International Scrapbook Day. And hop on over to Scrappy Challenges on Facebook and check it out. And leave a comment below. If you stuck it out this long, leave a comment below. I will draw a name for a prize. Thanks for watching. Oh, and in the comments say, what's your favorite thing you did today on National Scrapbooking Day? Thanks. Bye.